In this video, I'm going to show you how to visualize Cloud Optimized GeoTIFF easily in the browser without needing a local tile server or T-tiler endpoint. So basically, everything runs in the browser and it works instantly. Very, very easy to do. This is something that I have trying to get for a long time. It was not possible, and I usually had to set up my own T-tiler server in order to render tiles they host GeoTIFF they host it in the cloud, but now I don't need that anymore. So in this video, I'm going to show you step by step how to do that. First, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So this is the raster dataset that I'm going to show you. I have two datasets. I have the area imagery. I also have the height above ground LiDAR dataset. And now I can run the render everything here within the Jupyter Notebook environment. I also have a slider here at the lower right corner that allows you to change the opacity of the dataset. So you can see here it's actually pretty simple and straightforward. Everything runs in the browser, so there's no server or anything. And it's very, very nice. So now I can actually render any raster dataset from host it anywhere as long as you have access to it. And so to follow this tutorial, you need to go to the Leafmap website. I'm going to show the link is also in the video description below. Once you're on the Leafmap website, click Notebooks and scroll down to the last one here, 108 at GeoTIFF. Click this one. And so even nice is that right now the notebook you will see here, it actually render here in the browser. So I don't need to have a Python kernel. It renders using Folium, and you was able to actually render tiles. So you can see the example here. I'm using just a raster dataset hosted on Hugging Face, available through HTTP URL, and all I need is just one line of code at GeoTIFF. Then I can load the data on the map. After that, I add the layer control, I add the opacity. That's it. So it's super easy, one line of code. If you want to try it on your local computer, you can click the link here and then right click to download this one to your computer. Or you can run this one using Google Colab. So just right click, open in Google Colab. Then you just uncomment the first line to install the package. Then you should be able to do that easily. It's very fast, very easy to use. I have already downloaded on my local computer, so I'm going to show you quickly how to run through it. So for this functionality, it only works with the Folium library. It doesn't work with ipyleaflet yet, because ipyleaflet is a little bit more complicated because it has front end and also the back end, the widget. So only works for Folium. It's basically just one way. If you just need to render the raster tile, this is the way to go. So just import the library, and then you can create a map pointing to the URL to the raster dataset. Then call this add GeoTIFF function, providing the URL and the name, the layer name you want to use. You can also customize the indices. So basically, which band combination you want to use to visualize the dataset. Then just add the layer control and the opacity. So let's run this. And you can see it's very quick, less than 1 second. Now you have the imagery. When you zoom in, it's going to load the data. So everything being computed and converted on the fly. Basically, your dataset can be in any projection. It will do the reprojection and then render the tile directly within the browser. So you can see here, I can zoom in. It's going to load the tile. Upper right corner here, this is the layer control. So I can turn the layer on and off. Lower right corner here is the layer, the opacity control. So this is a new one. Oh, I cannot see here. Let me move my camera to the right. So this is the one I'm talking about, is the opacity control. So allows you to control different data layer. Here I have two data layer. For example, the NAIP imagery is the imagery what we are working on, and also we have the open stream it. I can slide to the right to change the opacity. So very, very cool. If you just want some quick way to visualize raster dataset in a Jupyter Notebook environment, this is definitely the easiest way to do. There's many other ways, but they are kind of complicated. And either you need a local tile server or you need a T-tiler server somewhere else. And basically, it's not really serverless. But now we are actually serverless. It's running just in the browser. And so you can customize the indices. If you have multispectral band, you just want one single band, you can just select. So the index is one base, so starting from 1. So if I just want to see the first band, then you can just put indices to 1. Now if you zoom in, you will see this is just a grayscale imagery. it's no color imagery anymore. And very much similar, I can change the opacity if needed. Here, depends on the spectral bands, I can do 3 to 1, 3, 2, 1. Then it's not going to be natural color. It might look a little bit different. So, but this is still kind of false color composite. So sometimes you might have length imagery 543 or something like that. Then you change the indices here. This is for multiband. You can certainly visualize a single band raster, especially for, they say, DM or high above ground data, something like that. It's the same workflow. Here, I point to this data set, and you can specify the minimum and the maximum value. By default, it's 0 to 255. So if your value is like very low, so this one is the height above ground data, and so the height, most of the building heights are pretty small, and maybe from 0 to 10 meters, something like that. So you certainly want to set the Vmax, otherwise you'll be a little bit dark. So if I don't set the Vmax, you can see here it's all kind of blue because most of values are lower than like on the lower end. And if it happens, then you change it to a large number. Also, you can customize the color palette, and this is what it looks like in here. Again, you can change the visualization here. I can change the opacity if you want to. So the palette can be anything that's recognized by Matplotlib. So I can change it maybe to cool, warm, or something like that. If we use a different color map. So the red color represents higher elevation, blue color represents lower elevation. So you can see here, it's very easy. You can customize it pretty easily using just one line of code. Just pointing to the URL, that's it, and then add GeoTIFF, I'm done. So if you don't need the opacity or the layer control, then just add GeoTIFF. So this is one way to visualize single band raster imagery. But you can certainly combine multiple data layers together. So for this one, I can put the area imagery and also the LiDAR data all together on the same map. If you want some vector data, you can do that as well. So I can also pointing to a GeoJSON building dataset and then just call the add GeoJSON. So everything pretty much is just one line of code. Once you're done with this, just execute. Then within a couple seconds, you should be, because this one has the building the vector dataset, so it's a little bit larger. So it might take a couple seconds to load up. And now I have this dataset here where I have the building polygons. I also have the height above ground dataset and also have the area imagery on top. So here I can change the opacity if you want to. Alright, so these are the buildings and the second layer. So if I talk to the lower right corner here, you can see the opacity. This one will be the height above ground, LiDAR DM. Alright, and you can change the opacity maybe to 50%, something like that. Then you can zoom in. So this might, with the more data set you have, sometimes it might take a couple seconds to load the tile because it's all do the reprojection on the fly. So it's not like pre-computed. You also don't have the tile server. So for last data set, it might be a little bit laggy, but it works just fine. So here within my browser, you can try it out. So if you have any other data set you want to try, just grab the HTTP URL. For example, here I have some data set hosted on Hugging Face. I can just go to my Geospatial data set here, and here I have a lot of like images, for example, here, and I can just maybe find any imagery that I want. How about this? Okay, I have this larger imagery, USDNM imagery somewhere. So you can just go there, copy the download link. So this is the direct link to the file. Then I can come back to here. Let me maybe restart my kernel to clear out other layers. Then I can maybe just go to the first one here. All you need to do is just replace this code URL. So I'm going to just paste the URL that I just copied from there and just run it. You will create a map and then automatically zoom to the layer. So as you can see, now it works just fine. And for this dataset, probably I think it's 4 band. So probably it's RGB and also near infrared. So if you want to see, for example, false color composite, then it should be 4 and then 1 and 2. So RGB and near infrared. So you'll be near infrared, the last band, and then red and green. Let's see if it works. See? So now we have this USDA NAIP imagery, 1 meter resolution, and it's not projection 3857. It's just like a UTM projection. Then just load it. Our browser is doing all the reprojection and then loading it directly on the map. Then I can change the opacity, something like that. So it's super easy. You can do for any imagery. Like I said, let me try another one here. I'm going to maybe, how about this car dataset, 7 centimeter dataset. So copy the URL, come back to here. You don't need to even to find out the location. It will automatically basically zoom to the layer. So let me run this one. And oh, because this one we don't have like 4 bands, so it doesn't load up. So it will be just 1, 2, and then 3. Try again. See, so now it loads up. You need to zoom in. When it zoom out, it's a bit pixelated, but when you zoom in, you will see fine details of the imagery. Okay, so this is what I want to show you. Like I said, this is very useful if you just want to visualize data in a Jupyter Notebook environment. It was not quite easy if you use other packages. And so right now only works for Folium, but I'm working on the NAIP package that also be able to support it in ipyleaflet. So not ipyleaflet, so it will be supported in the future. I'm still working on that. I have figured it out for the leaflet. So stay tuned for updates, and hopefully it also will be available in Matplotlib as well in the future. Okay, that's all for this tutorial. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye bye.